There's nothing more comical, and sad perhaps, than someone pretending to be smart when their every utterance is not only a lie, but everyone knows it's a lie.
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency.
Oh my God.
When Trump says this,
because we had the greatest economy in history in my first term,
it's easy to prove that it's false. Trump's economy has never, that's in ever, had a GDP over 3%, while Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Biden have had quarters that exceeded 4%. But I digress. The latest lie is Trump is trying to do math, all the while showing why his professor at Wharton, who said he was the dumbest goddamn student he ever had, was prophetic, to say the least. Trump tried to use Republican math to make a point, and the internet said, time out.
You're an idiot!
Trump held 2-hour-long press events yesterday, and one was for the signing of an executive order criminalizing flag burning, which we'll get to in a minute. Mantides then took questions during both events, including from a reporter who asked about priorities for a potential second reconciliation bill. This is where Trump's already declining mental state took over.
I'm always open to cost cutting. If we can cost cut, I like it, but nothing's going to happen to medical. We have something coming up, favored nations, where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,500%, where a pill that sells in Germany for $10 costs $150 here because of the bad price. And I was all set to do it, and then we had the COVID come up, and I had to focus on that because we had the greatest economy in history in my first term. I will tell you that we are going to be doing numbers on the cost of drugs in this country that I'm not talking about a 20% decrease, which would be great. I'm talking about 1,000% decrease.
Trump's blather then went viral and quickly was appended with a community note from X, one that comically made its point with the word problem. So this is what people were saying. If you increase the price of something by 100% that costs like $10, it's then $20. You doubled it. 200%, it's $30. But that doesn't work both ways. You can't reduce the price of something by greater than 100% because if you reduce the price of something by 100%, the price becomes zero, something Trump should have known with all his bankruptcies. Anyway, so when Trump says he's going to reduce the price of something by 1,500%, it's obvious he has no clue as to the nature of math. Shocker. Simply put, it's mathematically impossible to reduce prices by more than 100%. But that doesn't stop Trump. But you think his MAGA idiots or even Kennedy or Oz have a clue? The former head of the Fed, Janet Yellen, said that Trump had no idea as to the nature of macroeconomics. But she was being kind. He didn't have a fucking clue about anything with regard to the economy. Or he simply loves lying. Or both.
The one thing I said, and I gave my word, we're not going to hurt anybody on Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security. And in fact, we're doing great on Social Security. We found 300,000 illegals on Social Security. We got them out. And, you know, things like that make Social Security very, very strong. So, no, I am very big into certain things. And one of those three, you could say three of those things, are Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. We're going to protect it.
It will be my objective to phase out Social Security,
Nice.
to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it.
Here, here, buddy.
And in regards to that, you know, Trump's claim they found 300,000 illegals getting Social Security, it's total bullshit. Tell your MAGA idiot friends this. Undocumented people are not eligible to receive Social Security benefits. To collect a benefit, an individual must be legally authorized to work in the United States and have a valid Social Security number. And if you're a fan of irony, well, deporting undocumented people, it's a huge blow to funding Social Security. Here's why.
How much do you think undocumented immigrants pay into the tax system every year?
Zero.
Nothing.
They pay it into the system.
Okay.
So through ITN number.
It's undocumented immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants. They pay Medicare, they pay Social Security. They don't get Social Security.
Right, but they pay into it.
They pay
Honestly,
into
I
it.
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
And of course, Trump wasn't done lying.
Energy is way down. Energy is way down. It was $4 and $5 for a gallon of gas. Think of that for gasoline. And now it's probably $2.25. There are some places it's $2. It broke $2 at a couple of locations in the South. In places like California where they charge such high taxes, it's higher, but it's still much lower than what it was a year ago.
Pouty Fuckwinkle touted the success of his economic policies by falsely claiming gas prices have fallen under $2 a gallon. But that's not true. On Monday afternoon, Trump held his 7th cabinet meeting from behind a desk so you can't see his fat ankles. And during his opening remarks, which lasted nearly an hour, he went over all the successes, combating inflation and claiming consumer costs are already going down. But it's not true. Inflation is higher than a year ago when Biden was in office, and the tariffs are pushing prices up in almost every category. And in regards to fuel, according to AAA's database of nationwide gas prices, not one state comes even close to the $2.25 a gallon figure that Trump mentioned. At the time I'm talking to you, the average retail price of gas in the U.S. is $3.19. The state with the lowest average was Mississippi at $2.69. Additionally, data pulled from GasBuddy, the app that helps users find the cheapest gas in the area, it revealed not a single individual station in the entire United States was under $2. Not one. And not one economist from any major university says tariffs are good. Just remember, whenever Trump talks about money tariffs are bringing in, that's the extra amount consumers are paying because those nations exporting those goods have added the tariffs to their prices. But Trump says, buy American. But American companies' prices are higher because their costs are up because of the higher priced goods they need to import. And all that leads to companies laying off workers because sales are dropping.
One of the attractions that people don't seem to really understand why Trump loves tariffs so much is that historically, tariffs are the biggest driver of political corruption because every single interest goes hat in hand and either asks for an exemption to tariffs or asks that their competition get tariffed. It is a way to beseech those in power for special pleading. And that, I think, that is the economic philosophy of this administration.
It's a fucking con job. And when Trump talks about criminalizing flag burning, he in effect is violating a decision the Supreme Court made.
Yeah, if I were king, I would not allow people to go about burning the American flag. However, we have a First Amendment which says that the right of free speech shall not be abridged, and it is addressed in particular to speech critical of the government. I mean, that was the main kind of speech that tyrants would seek to suppress. Burning the flag is a form of expression. Speech doesn't just mean written words or oral words. It could be semaphore. Burning a flag is a symbol that expresses an idea. I hate the government is unjust, whatever.
And it becomes obvious he thinks he can do anything, anytime, to anyone.
Lastly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech.
Now again, Trump is feeding red meat to his hillbilly militia, the same group that wants to ban gay marriage and forbid men from wearing women's clothes, both of which have zero effect on the country, except for inciting his insane religious base.
If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death.
At the end of the day, Trump's attack on innocents in American cities will provoke people like myself to do, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And as long as Trump lies and ignores the courts and the existing laws passed by Congress, people will take to the streets and we will burn flags and we will create civil unrest because those are our rights.
In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily.
While ICE agents cover their faces and attack U.S. citizens and free January 6 insurrectionists commit crimes against children and others, we find ourselves in yet another dilemma. But the measures Texas and other red states are taking to try to steal the midterms shows you that there's a collective anger growing at this obese cockwaffle and his minions. Oh, and by the way, a quick shout out to Gavin Newsom. You see, watching MAGA self-destruct, well, it can still be fun.
Goddamn right.
It's sitting on my desk.
Who you talking to?
I could be a stupid person.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
You have no shame?
I'm sorry, man.
It's not fair. Are you not entertained?
Jeffrey Epstein?
They don't know what the they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.